but Pete's thinking it would have been nice to know about the Mynah bird. More information is available at TireRack.com.
Rock Auto has auto parts from hundreds of manufacturers. No matter what customers drive, they can purchase online from a comprehensive selection of brands, prices, and specifications. RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. DieHard, the DieHard Advanced Gold Battery, designed to help start your car and power the equipment in it. More information available at diehard.com.
The Subaru Legacy has been around long enough to actually have a legacy. That's 26 years and counting as a comfortable, affordable, reliable family sedan choice. It's also mirrored the legacy of the Subaru brand itself, delivering all-weather capabilities and a slightly quirky package. Well, an all-new Legacy is looking to update both histories while also going a bit more mainstream. The Subaru Legacy sedan has always labored in the popularity shadow of the Outback Sport utility wagon, with which it once again shares a platform. So what does the 2015 Legacy bring to the table to warrant more of the spotlight? Well, for one thing, smoother, more mainstream styling. It looks like Subaru is taking a page out of the Honda Accord book by making the Legacy silkier, if also more conservative. And that's okay if, like the Accord, you design the car to be appealing as an entire package and not just a shiny object of great desire that lacks good practicality and purpose. And without a doubt, the Legacy has come a long way towards becoming that type of very desirable car. And perhaps that's why they didn't stretch too much on the powertrains, as both engines carry over from last year. The 2.5-liter flat four sees a minor 2 horsepower gain to 175 and will still be the choice for most buyers. Our car's very robust 3.6-liter flat six carries over unchanged with 256 horsepower and 247 pound-feet of torque. No manual or traditional automatics are offered, as a CVT is the only transmission. And it works surprisingly well this go-around, being smoother with fewer quirks. Plus, it has helped raise the Six's fuel economy numbers, though they still aren't stellar. Perhaps that's because all-wheel drive is still standard. Government fuel economy ratings are 20 city, 29 highway, and 23 combined for the Six. We averaged 25.5 miles per gallon of regular in a mixed loop of driving. If you don't mind sluggish acceleration, the 2.54 has 30% better fuel economy. At our test track, Subaru's CVT performed quite well when combined with our snappy 3.66. The simulated shifting was strong and accompanied by a nice surge of power as the RPMs dipped ever so slightly. 0 to 60 was dispatched in a reasonable 7.3 seconds, and we ended the quarter mile in 15.7 seconds at 92 miles per hour. A much stiffer chassis and some honest-to-goodness heft to the wheel helps the Legacy also perform with more composure and sportiness than most rivals. Things are way more fun to drive than last year, with a definite hike in chassis feedback and an overall demeanor that's more Mazda 6 than Camry. Steering is quick and precise for both inputs and corrections, and handling prowess is aided by brake intervention active torque vectoring. Overall braking performance fell back to about average, however, with some minor fade. Stops of 125 feet from 60 were smooth and straight. Things are well above average inside, particularly in limited trim. And now we pause from this road test to say thank you to Subaru for finally putting in a non-frustrating navigation system. With this latest infotainment system, they went from absolutely one of the worst units to one of the best. Everything is clear, the colors really pop, and the street names are highly legible. Even the variable touch buttons work well. It's a huge improvement both visually and functionally, and as much grief as we've given them over the years, we'd better spend some time praising now that they've gotten it right. Gauges are also both more informative and clearer. And again, thank you, Subaru, for bringing back a real coolant temperature gauge. A backup camera is now standard on all Legacies too, but the Feature Pack Limited also gets leather heated seating front and rear, a 576-watt Harman Kardon audio system, and blind spot detection. Seats all around deliver great comfort, and most interior measurements are up just slightly. Even trunk capacity climbs a little to 15 cubic feet before you fold the split rear seats. Legacy-based pricing also climbs slightly to $22,490 for the 2.5i. The 3.6R comes in top-tier limited trim only and stickers for $30,390. It's clear to us that Subaru has listened to current owners and changed only what needed to be changed. The new Legacy may be less quirky, but in its stead is a high-quality car that's not nearly as sedate as it looks. Plus, even though it's more mainstream, it still offers standard all-wheel drive, something still unique to the affordable midsize family sedan segment. The 2015 Subaru Legacy deserves its time in the spotlight. We're very favorably impressed with the result. Our success story this week takes us to Asheville, North Carolina, which has recently added 4 compressed natural gas refuse trucks to its fleet. They fuel up overnight at these time-fill posts. Working with the Land of the Sky Clean Vehicles Coalition, the city also received funding for 25 CNG pickup trucks, including this Ford F-150 used by the fire department. The city's Chevrolet Volt extended range electric car uses solar energy to recharge at this public access station. Their fleet also includes Segways and zero-emission EVs like this gem, and residents are taking notice.
It's just that constant reminder, which ultimately we hope will help reduce the fuel consumption, as well as the general public seeing what we're doing, and that's a good thing.
Asheville also uses B20 biodiesel to fuel diesel vehicles. All told, a significant step in the green direction for Western North Carolina's premier city. Our two-wheeling segment shines a light on the latest bikes, motorcycles, and scooters, whatever's hot on the rider's market today. But the collective history of motorbikes is just as rich as their car cousins. Well, as luck would have it, our FYI reporter Yolanda Vasquez has just ridden in with an all-American history lesson on two-wheel cruising.
Let's hope it starts. Oh!
Away we go.
All right, here we go. Buckle up, because like me, you're in for one heck of a ride when you visit the Wheels Through Time Museum in Maggie Valley, North Carolina.
There's 27 different brands of American motorcycles here from Ace to Yale, all inclusive, and they all run.
Dale Wachsler is the founder of the museum. If his face or bike riding antics look familiar, that's because he stars in a TV show called What's in the Barn. Now in its 3rd season, Wachsler says it's a great history lesson with a fun way to get there.
Whether it's helping an old lady or finding just what fits here at Wheels Through Time, that's what's in the barn.
Wachsler started his bike collecting quest more than 45 years ago. This is your first bike.
That's my first bike. Yeah.
And today he has a 38,000 square foot space filled with hundreds of rare American motorcycles.
You know, I've been collecting bikes for so long, but I actually remember nearly where every bike and every part and every story is, because I really don't collect a bike unless it has a great story.
From board track racers to hill climbing bikes to military motorcycles. There's even an entire floor dedicated to American dirt track racing. And let's not forget the Chopper Graveyard. But Wachsler's true pride and joy is the Founders Gallery.
What that means are these are motorcycles that were built and owned by the people that invented the motorcycle.
For example, this 1914 Flesher Flyer, a one-off built by Louis Flesher of Nebraska. Or how about this 1913 Indian prototype built by Oscar Hedstrom? It has a dual exhaust and dual kickstarters. And you'd be hard-pressed to see one of these, a 1916 Traub, which stumps Wachsler to this very day.
I found the Traub 18 years ago with a very interesting story, and have now learned that with 40 years of research, nobody knows who is Mr. Traub.
There's a section in the museum called Homemade America. It highlights machinery that was created using a motorcycle engine. Take, for example, this personal watercraft. It was powered by a 1925 Harley-Davidson engine and is thought to be the very first jet ski.
In the day, you could buy an old motorcycle for $4 or $5. Well, that gave you a power plant from which you can make an ice cutter, you can make a snow blower or a rototiller, or even an airplane.
And since every bike has a story, you'll often see photos, posters, or handwritten letters nearby. For Wachsler, the people who rode these bikes are just as important.
Carol Ressweber, 4-time national champion, his family sold me the garage.
His 1957 Harley-Davidson, known as the Duck Bike, is on display, along with mementos from other riders like Ricky Graham and Brad Andres, who won the Daytona 200 3 times.
He gave me his jacket, he gave me his helmet, he gave me his Daytona certificate when he won the race. He also signed his number plate.
Wachsler can often be found in his repair shop working on a number of bikes at one time. He started videotaping his efforts years ago.
Got more fun riding these old motorcycles.
These time machine videos helped Wachsler get his current TV gig.
I'm Dale Wachsler, and I dig deep into America.
The show has elevated him to a new level of fame, with hundreds of thousands of visitors stopping in to see his historic memorabilia and other motorcycle artifacts.
And then, of course, we have our guest register. I have stacks of registers. People leave their DNA here every day.
And Wachsler wouldn't have it any other way. He's a true motorcycle enthusiast who revels in discovering obscure bikes and doesn't hold back on sharing them with the world. I'm holding on for dear life.
Pat Gause has his fingers on all things automotive, so let's see what has his pressure up this week.
Modern automobiles have a lot of new features and safety devices and things like that. And that means that they also have a lot of newer parts. And that's changing the whole landscape of auto parts. And here to give us some pointers, we have Tom Taylor, who is an online parts supplier. Tom, welcome to Gause's Garage.
Thank you, Pat.
All right, what are you seeing as a trend right now?
Well, something that's been on new cars since 2008 is tire pressure monitoring systems, and they have, or TPMS, and each wheel has a sensor that most people don't know has a battery inside. The manufacturers suggest the batteries last 3 to 7 years, and then the whole sensor needs to be replaced. You can't just take out the battery. So we're selling a lot of these TPMS sensors.
Okay, and we've got millions and millions of cars where they're going to be failing very soon now. All right, now you have a couple of different types here.
Yes, there's a strap, kind that straps onto the center of the wheel. The sensor connects on the strap and you bolt it on. And then this is the much more common sensor that goes through the valve hole in the wheel. This type of sensor can actually often be replaced with this easier type.
Okay. Also, the repair kit.
Yes, similar to a conventional tire that you find on an older car, you can replace the inside of the valve, the seal and the guts of the valve. And you might do that between replacing the whole sensor.
Okay. All right, now over here we have one actually mounted into a wheel. This is what it looks like inside. But once the light comes on a lot of these cars, you may have to have a special tool in order to reset them.
Right, it varies from different makes and models. Some is as simple as just going for a short drive or turning on the car. But other cars, you need to have a tool that can recognize the make and model of the car and relearn the sensors so the computer knows it's there and what wheel it's on.
Okay, now some of these can actually read the state of charge of the batteries in the sensors.
Right, that's a handy thing for tire shops. They can show the customer that the battery is getting to the end of its life, so the customer avoids taking off their new tires and installing new sensors a few months down the road.
Yeah. Well, when you look at that, 3 months later, you take the tires off and put sensors in and so on, the demounting, remounting, rebalancing, and all of that, that could be $100, $150 savings just by doing it all at once.
Right. And mentioning costs, replacing 4 sensors can be more than $200, so it is something to plan for at that second or third tire change.
But plan for it just like you plan for new tires and new brakes.
Right.
Okay, Tom, thank you. And if you have a question or comment, drop me a line right here at Motor Week.
With summer road trips and camper hauling winding down, so too has our time with the 2013 Ram 1500 pickup. Our SLT Quad Cab 4x4 served us well in its 12 months in the Motor Week fleet. The overhead cam Pentastar V6 8-speed automatic combo netted us a fuel economy average of 19.2 miles per gallon in just under 24,000 miles. And whether it was hauling cargo or hauling people, the Ram handled everything we asked of it. Some repeated freeze-ups in the Uconnect system occurred, but a simple software upgrade cured that. Add in innovative features like the Ram Box cargo bins, and it's no wonder Ram has become a top-drawer pickup contender and will miss the ultra-versatile 1500. Meanwhile, our 2014 Nissan Versa Note soldiers on as the little car that does a lot. Highway trips have bumped overall fuel economy to 34.5 miles per gallon, a notable increase since we last checked in, and nearing the government rating of 35 combined. Just over 10 months and 15,661 miles in, it continues to impress us with a surprising amount of usable space and power. Despite its 109 horsepower i4, it is much more than a grocery getter. 4-passenger commuter comfort is surprisingly good, as is the amount of cargo it carries. Note even has advanced features like a round view backup camera. We'll get caught up with the Acura RLX on the next Motor Week long-term road test update. Now let's head back to Yolanda Vasquez, this time for all the latest motor news.
New car technologies are constantly evolving. Advances come so quickly that it's hard for these major breakthroughs to grab headlines. And that includes progress towards an autonomous car. For self-driving cars to become more commonplace, vehicle-to-vehicle and ultimately vehicle-to-pedestrian communication will be required. General Motors now says that V2V communications will be standard on the 2017 Cadillac CTS, an industry first. The system will use GPS, cameras, radar, sonar, and cellular technologies to send and receive information to and from other vehicles. Cell phones may also alert the car about pedestrians as well. Ultimately, V2V could help avoid accidents in a number of ways, by issuing visual or audio warnings, by steering the car away from hazards, or by stopping it completely. This technology, combined with already existing smart systems like adaptive cruise control and lane keeping assist, will build towards a new level of automated driving. GM has also announced that another 2017 Cadillac will also have some limited self-driving capabilities. That car, expected to be their new flagship sedan, will offer Super Cruise, a hands-off, fully automated system that will steer, brake, and accelerate the car during congested traffic. It also has the capability to do this during highway cruising at speeds up to 70 miles per hour. Audi has also mentioned that they will offer a similar system around the same time as GM. And that'll do it for this week's Motor News.
In the rarefied world of ultra-high-performance Audis, many think the exotic R8 is the champ. But it's actually the 5-door RS7 that is the most powerful Audi sold here. That's right, you don't need supercar style or impracticality for serious street-fighting, track-melting prowess. Too good to be true? Well, buckle up. It took us no time at all to absolutely fall in love with the Audi RS5 when we hit the track with it last year. But to be honest, that car pales in comparison to this car, the 2014 Audi RS7. Building on the far from pedestrian S7, Audi pumps up the performance in just about every area of this vehicle. Weight has been shaved by 30 pounds, and there's more power thanks to Audi cranking up the boost in the twin-turbo 4-liter V8 to 17.4 psi. That makes for 560 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. Quattro all-wheel drive, along with the S7 Sport differential and air suspension, are all standard. One thing that hasn't changed is that much like the S7, this car seems up for just about anything you can throw at it, feeling smooth and steady no matter the speed. Compared to the impressive S7, it cuts through the cones even more effortlessly. Dynamic driving mode keeps the body roll well under control, but doesn't necessarily make it feel more responsive. However, the electromechanical steering is insanely quick on turn-in with a precise heavy weight, but unsurprisingly little feel. More would be hugely welcome. The upgraded brakes are great for such a heavy car, but not quite in supercar territory with average stops of 117 feet from 60. Acceleration, however, is glorious, as there is a ridiculous amount of torque and quattro traction propelling you on an 11.7-second adrenaline rush through the quarter mile at 123 miles per hour. The transmission is a straight-up 8-speed Tiptronic automatic, not a DSG, but it works better than most dual-clutch boxes, so we have no complaints. The first two gears seem ultra low. That's for acceleration, getting you to 60 in just 3.6 seconds, while the top gears go into extreme overdrive. Manual shifting is hard to get just right on the power sweet spots, so just let the computers and accelerometers do their thing and propel you to glory. Now, if you're on the highway and you choose to nail the throttle to its fullest, make sure you're not even close to someone's bumper, or you'll be in it in no time as this thing just flat takes off. So it's quicker than a BMW M6 Grand Coupe, but not quite as fast as the Mercedes-Benz CLS 63 AMG. But perhaps more importantly, thanks to cylinder deactivation among other things, it out-fuel misers both of them. Government fuel economy ratings are 16 city, 27 highway, and 19 combined. So our average of 22.1 miles per gallon of premium is quite good for supercar-like performance. This vehicle is clearly made for eating up mass quantities of Autobahn miles at thrilling speeds in extreme serenity, as Audi seems to be in competition with themselves on building the most amazing interiors. No one else is really even in the game, as here the custom-crafted environment gets even better. It looks and feels like those super expensive pieces of custom luggage you see that cost well into 5 figures. RS extras include shifter, steering wheel, carbon fiber trim, unique door handles, and instrument panel. Front seats are just great. Very racy feeling, yet also luxurious to the hilt. While it doesn't feel or look particularly big, ease into the rear seats and the car feels huge. Instead of a one-size-fits-all approach to the exterior design, buyers can opt for standard, matte aluminum, or carbon styling. This example sports the matte aluminum look, along with new bumpers, revised single-frame grille, adaptive rear spoiler, lower diffuser, and big elliptical tailpipe tips for the highly recommended optional sport exhaust system. Full LED lighting is standard. But let's be honest. At $105,795, the $25,000 price leap over an S7 may purely be for bragging rights. Most owners will never experience the full potential of this car. We really don't have the appropriate roads in North America to fully exploit the RS7's capabilities. You do need the German Autobahn, or at least your own track day for that. We thought the S7 was terrific, but in creating the 2014 RS7, the otherworldly Audi engineers are again on point. Too good to be true? Not hardly. Overkill? You're darn right. Well, that's our show. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, for more Motor Week, why not check out our podcast, as well as complete episodes at pbs.org/motorweek. And I hope you'll join us next time for a one-of-a-kind, once-in-a-lifetime review of LaFerrari. Then we'll drive to a different tune in the all-new Hyundai Sonata. Till then, I'm John Davis. We'll see you right here on Motor Week.
To learn more about Motor Week, television's original automotive magazine, visit pbs.org/motorweek. To order a DVD of this program, call 1-800-873-6154. Motor Week has been brought to you by...
This is Pete. Pete's helping his aunt move, so he's not thinking about tires. If he were, TireRack.com could help him find the right tires. But Pete's thinking it would have been nice to know about the Minor Bird. More information is available at TireRack.com.
Rock Auto has auto parts from hundreds of manufacturers. No matter what customers drive, they can purchase online from a comprehensive selection of brands, prices, and specifications. RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need.
Die Hard, the Die Hard Advanced Gold Battery, designed to help start your car and power the equipment in it. More information available at diehard.com.
This program was produced by Maryland Public Television, which is solely responsible for its content.
Be More, PBS.
Could help him find the right tires, but Pete's thinking it would have been nice to know about the Minor Bird. More information is available at TireRack.com.
Rock Auto has auto parts from hundreds of manufacturers. No matter what customers drive, they can purchase online from a comprehensive selection of brands, prices, and specifications. RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need.
Die Hard, the Die Hard Advanced Gold Battery, designed to help start your car and power the equipment in it. More information available at diehard.com.
This program was produced by Maryland Public Television, which is solely responsible for its content.
Be More, PBS.